yeah, we'll just get started because it's recorded anyway, so we could listen back. So if you guys want to give us an introduction of yourselves, how you got into crypto, and then maybe if you want to give an overview of the game, and then we can begin with our questions. So we'll start off with a little introduction from WT first. So welcome, WT. If you want to give yourself an introduction, go ahead, my man.
Yeah, man. How you guys doing?
Pretty good. Just put the kids to sleep, so I'm fine here.
Cool. Very cool. Yeah, I'm at work, but I got a couple minutes and I can bob in and out as long as nothing goes catastrophic. So I got a minute here. I'm WT. I've been in the Web3 space for a little over 3 years now, and joined up with Gamer Galaxie recently, and for the last couple of months with Rubik, Wandering Gale, DeSeuss, and just covering as many projects as we can in Web3, specifically the Immutable ecosystem. And yeah, excited to talk to you guys today and see what you guys are working on.
Yeah, maybe I just go next. I'm Luc. I'm the BD and marketing for Medieval Empires. Been in crypto, I think. So really into crypto, I would say 2 years, maybe 2.5. But before, always interested and gamer by heart as well. Love like I'm originally a Nintendo player, so not Web3 at all. But Nintendo is the coolest thing that you can have. I still play. Play Smash Brothers or Mario Kart from time to time on the old console. So I have all consoles over here still. Looking forward to my son getting older so I can beat him in Mario Kart as well. And yeah, besides that, Medieval Empires is a mid-core strategy game. So you start with building your town, then you assemble your army. You have heroes in the game which you can level up, and then you go on the province map, and then you start fighting over there. We have land in the game, and as a landlord, you can rent out slots to other players and earn in-game resources by that. We also have daily quests. We have a couple of players already. We're still in a closed beta and have so we're in continuous development, which means every 2 to 4 weeks we ship new features. We've been on the market since 2 years or over 2 years already. So we've built through the bear market. I hope the bear market ends now. So I'm sick of it. I want to see the bull market again. And yeah, continuously building. We're partnered with Immutable. We're also on Polygon. Have lots of friends in the whole Web3 gaming sphere. Basically, every launcher that you see, you will find us somewhere on there. And yeah, happy to be here today and talk a little bit about Web3 gaming.
Sounds great, man. Yeah. So how did they, like, if you could delve into this, how did they get the idea of medieval empires? Like, it seems very reminiscent of Age of Empires. Did you and games like that in that genre? So I just want to know what did that type of game inspire you to bring medieval empires to the table, or what was the inspiration?
So it started with the founder Assad, who who assembled a team of veterans from King and Vuga, and he promised the game designer to build whatever game he wants, unless it's really cool and has something to do with medieval times. And then we have the face of the game, which is Engin Altan Düzertan. He's pretty famous in the Eastern world. His show is in the Guinness World Record book for most airing time. It's bigger than Game of Thrones. And he's the face of the actual Kahi tribe. So he's playing Ertugrul in our game, which is a historical figure during the medieval times. And we thought that's a really cool start on also on how to onboard other people. And the cool thing is the medieval area, like you don't have that many medieval games. Like if you look around, there may be maybe one or two that are in the time frame, but besides that, I don't see any strategy game that's Web3 that like or even out now, except for something like Age of Empires. I don't know if you guys played Stronghold Crusaders or stuff like this. I was so addicted. I played LAN parties when I was 16, sitting in the basement, everyone with his computer, and then we played Stronghold Crusaders the whole night. Yeah, and it will expand over time. So then they said like, hey, we should have all the factions in. Like, what about the Crusaders? What about Byzantine Empire? What about the Holy Roman Empire, which will most likely be one of the next factions based on a community decision? Then you have the Mongols. So the whole area or the whole time frame during the medieval times, I think, is so fascinating, and you can expand on that. Like, it will not. So we started with the Kahi tribe and the Crusader tribe because they were one of the most famous in that time frame. But we want to let the world map evolve over time. So at a certain time, we will introduce new factions, and with every faction that we implement, we might also have an actor that accompanies the faction. So right now we have Engin Altan Düzertan as the face of the Kahi tribe, and then we might have some other cool actors also for the Crusaders. We're thinking about like maybe Draco Malfoy from Harry Potter. I think would be a really good fit, or the Hand from Game of Thrones, um, or you name it, some English dude that has cool character. And then once we go into the other factions, we always try to have someone that represents that era and is the face of the game. Yeah, and then those guys sat together with Engin, and then they said like, "Hey, you look like a really cool medieval dude. Why don't you want to be the face of Ertugrul in that game as well?" And yeah, so it came to place. And now you see him in the game. You see him also as the profile picture of Medieval Empires. We do lots of content with him, AMAs, and the goal is to onboard all his fans because he has billions of fans, or not billions, like billions watched it, but I think fans, well, we speak about a couple millions. And we want to onboard all those guys to play the game, and I think that's a really cool thing. As we also build seamlessly with Immutable as well, so they can start playing right now just with having an email address. They don't need a wallet. And once we open the gates, which we're still token gating at the moment, I know you guys play, but there are just a little over 1,000 players that we allow in the game so far. We are opening it currently to 2,000 because we are still in the test phase. We want like really implement every feature, test it to the bone in order to be ready for the public release. And yeah, I think I talk way too much. If you guys have questions, just shoot them. I will just continue talking for the next 1 hour.
No, that's good stuff. It's really good stuff. So I haven't had a chance to play it yet, but I was checking out some of your videos and it looks pretty interesting. It's got kind of that real-time strategy to it, and you talked about that you're building your city, so to speak. So if I was to get into the game today, how long roughly, or what do I need to do to get to a point to where I could compete and or earn some of your me token? How does that work?
So we have different systems which we are currently implementing. We started with on how we can reward players. Now we have an in-game leaderboard with certain events where you, for example, who's killing the most invaders. That's a grind. So you still have a little F or a little benefit if you're higher in rank, but I mean the guy that grinds the most will in the end be the one that will make it over there. And with the next events that we're going to implement, Felix has some cool adjustments where you can basically start today the game and still be able to compete based on how much you or on the game playtime basically that you put in and all the effort that you put in. So everyone can benefit from that, but we want to have it two-folded. So there are different kinds of events for people that like. We also want to reward the guys that play for longer already and that grinded the leaderboard for the last half year or longer. So we will have different kinds of events, some for new players, some for more advanced players. So we always try to like balance it out a little bit, that we like have every gamer enjoy the game, and even as a beginner are able to compete in certain events. For example, if you check who got the most resources in, then 100% those guys that have a higher level will get more resources because they're on a more developed land. Their mines and the farm is way more advanced, so they will of course be on the first place on the leaderboard. But if we have something like who has or who got the most upgrades on a hero, everyone can participate in that, right? So even if you start at 0, you can upgrade your hero based on how much effort you put in into fighting, and that's just like time spent in the game equals to higher rewards in the game. And that's what we're currently implementing. So in the, I think, 2 releases ago, which means for us it's 4 or 5 weeks ago, we started with implementing the leaderboard to test the feature overall. And now in the next or the release afterwards, we will have more features or more events in that cater also to lower level players. So if you start today, today I think started the challenge of killing invaders, which is a grind, but also catered to players that have a bigger army because they can kill more invaders, of course. But we still have a couple of people that do 8-hour streams. I think Jay Spizzle tomorrow is planning to have an 8-hour stream of just killing invaders. So I will definitely be not on the leaderboard this time, at least not in the first ones, because they just really grind the game, which is cool to see for us.
Wow, 8 hours. That's absolutely crazy. Yeah, thanks for that's a lot of information. Thanks for that. Definitely, I got to try to get in. Maybe you guys can help me get in so I can check it out for sure. But I can't play 8 hours at a time.
You
There's
can
no way I
start
can do
right
that.
now. We have a couple of open land slots in the game. Since we open up to more players and some of the landlords now have open contracts, let me actually pin. We also have a giveaway currently for people that join. So if you join now, for the next 1,000 people that join the game, we have 100,000 Me tokens plus land NFTs and in-game resources. And there are still some open slots from there. And once they are filled, we will start with whitelisting again. So if all slots from the landlords are filled, we will do whitelists again. But yeah, if you click on the link on top and then below there, just where it says Play Medieval Empires Now, just click there. It takes, so for an experienced guy, it takes around 4 minutes, I would say, maybe 5, to start playing the game. Because you just go download, verify your email, next, finish, allow, and then you're basically in the game. So not like Fortnite downloading 38 gigabytes of data and then upgrading something, doing this and doing that. So basically pretty easy at the moment.
So I have a quick question for you. You were talking about your heroes. So I have a hero. He's level 12, but the durability's gone in it. Is there any way I'm able to get that back again, or is that it kaput? Is that it finished?
You don't want to get it back again, and let me tell you why. If you're going to retire him, you get silver, but r- that's right now. In the future, that will take a couple of releases more. You will get a legacy NFT when you retire those heroes, and then attach that legacy NFT onto a new hero in order to have a stronger hero than before. Or what you can do is you can take that legacy NFT and trade it on the marketplace. Or you can go to the marketplace and just get some of those legacy NFTs from other players. That's also possible, of course. But you want to have or want to grind down the durability in order to get a stronger hero afterwards. So right now it seems bad that he's down on durability and you can't use him anymore. But in the future, you will want to wear them down in order to get that cool legacy NFT, which you can attach to new heroes. But yeah, that will take some time, and then once you have that legacy NFT, either attach it to a new hero or trade it on the marketplace. And I think that's what a lot of people would do, just grind them down in order to get the legacy NFTs in order to get stronger heroes in the future.
Well, I didn't know that. That's actually very interesting. Thanks for that there. But another question I was wanting to hear from you guys is like what and in your own words, what makes the Medieval Empires game stands out in this genre? Like I think you sort of covered that with the medieval aspect, but what like with the game mechanics, what makes it stand out?
Yeah, so I mean, from IP, we already covered, I think, with Engin and the medieval times, and that it's a strategy game. But from game mechanics wise, so the first thing is that we have land, which you can rent out based on smart contracts to other players, which is also in other games. So it's not a unique thing. One of the unique things is the durability on the heroes in order to have a chance to compete against other players, even if you start later, because if you start some of the games like which went on for a year or something like this, you go in and you just get crushed by other players. If you start in Medieval Empires, you still have the chance to get one of the top heroes because they have a durability, they get worn down, and you need to start fresh. That way, we also don't have to have multiple servers or new instances or seasons that you see in a lot of games. We just have an ever growing world, and everyone that joins will be on the same server in the same world. So that's the cool thing. You don't need to like or do I join this server or this server? When does it restart? Shout out to Simply K, my friend that just popped in, and yeah, so it's one world, ever growing, and that's something that we don't see that much, or I haven't seen it in another game. If you find one, let me know. I would love to see how they figured it out. But the durability and the ever-growing world, I think that's some of the features that you don't see in other games at the moment. And maybe you don't see it because no one has tested it yet. But our game designer is pretty smart. I hope that will work out in the end. And yeah, also the lands that you can rent them out based on smart contracts. I think that's a really cool thing. And I bet there are millions of other things I could tell about the economy, but I don't want to bore everyone to death over here.
Oh no, you're fine, man. But yeah, that hero thing, that is definitely unique. I've never seen that before, and it's good that you sort of don't lose anything. It's actually giving you your next hero will be stronger, so you're actually improving when you're losing that hero character. So another question I have for you guys is like I want to know if is there going to be a time when it'll be player versus player, like when we will we be able to attack each other? Is that when, or is that going to be implemented when the new factions come in place? Because I think there's new factions coming after the. I was looking at the roadmap. It's after like is it Q3, was it? It's after the public beta launch.
Yeah, so there will be new factions. So the next one that we implement is the Crusaders, but the PvP is not. It's not. How do you say that? Attached to the Crusaders. PvP is just a feature that we will implement, which I would have to check the roadmap, but I think it's second half of the year. And then it's yeah, you can decide if you want to do the PvP. So it's not that someone can just raid your land, take everything away from you that you earn. So there will be parts where you can, like, we want to cater all players, right? There are some people that just want to do PvE and just like live in their own world and don't talk to other players or something like this. And then we have the PvP part where you can decide you want to fight. And we have different stages of that. So it will be player versus player, but it will also be land versus land, and then it will later on also be historical battles where like clans is when you have multiple lands together, and they fight each other, and then there will be historical battles also to figure out what will be the next faction that we will have in the game. So then, for example, the Crusaders fight against the whole Kahi tribe on the map. Uh, I still can't imagine how it will look like. That's still up to the designers of the game. But yeah, PvP will come in different forms. So we always do it in iterations. So we have an MVP, which will be player versus player, and based on that, we will build it up in iterations, of course. And then there will be land versus land. Once we have land versus land, there will be clan versus clan. And then in the ultimate stage, it will be basically we have an area on the land, which is a point of interest where everyone can go, and then there will be like fights similar to capture the flag. So if you hold that part of the land for long enough, then you get certain benefits and everything. So there's so much stuff planned in the future. The only thing that stops us at the moment is the time in order to produce that, because as you know, good game development takes lots of time, and we do feature by feature. And yeah, PvP is definitely one of the things that we have on the map, and most likely it will come second half of the year.
Wow, that's awesome. That's awesome. People love PvP, especially in this space. I also seen in your roadmap you guys have mobile coming. Is that going to be like a management system on mobile where you attend to your lands and your resources, or is that going to include PvE and PvP applications on it also?
Everything. So the plan is that you start playing on your computer, and at a certain time, you decide, I need to have a coffee. So you go grab a coffee, take out your phone, and continue playing the same session on Medieval Empire. There are lots of other use cases, like going to the bathroom and stuff like this, or sitting in the subway or whatever. So you can decide if you want to play it on the mobile. It's I hate that word, interoperable and interexchangeable. So you can play it so it's one session. You can play it on mobile or on the computer. So it's not like an extended Web3 feature where you can just manage something. You will be able to do everything on the same, so to the same extent. The only thing, so we are building on Unity, and Unity in that regard is really cool. So you can reuse most of the code, but you need to just, or that sounds, if I say that, it sounds easy, but if my devs tell me, then they say I'm stupid. But you just need to change the UI, right? So you have the same underlying mechanics, uh, exchange the UI, and then you have the same game. Sounds easy when I say it. It's lots of work, but you get the point, right? So you have the UI adjusted, because if you check your land on a really small screen and everything, you need to adjust it. So yeah, it will be the same version that you're playing, and you will be able to manage your land. You will be able to build, attack invaders, everything, and yeah, that's how it will be.
That sounds awesome, man. Like the the what do you call it? The land. So we pay taxes. There's two options for taxes, right? There's you can give 50% of your silver, or you can give to the give some resources to the landowner. Is there any way you can work your way in the game to owning land, or does it have to be purchased over on OpenSea?
So currently we have, so as a landlord, you have different options on how you rent it out. So we say you can ask for a maximum of 25% of resources, so wheat, wood, and ore, or the silver. Uh, because we say 25%, otherwise we will get lots of multi-accounting and everything, which we want to avoid to have in the game, and also to just have it fair. So also check on which kind of land you are. Some or just ask for 5%, some ask for 7, some ask for 25. Depends on also the prestige of the land, which tier of the land you have, how are the other players on the land. So that so we don't have a cap on everything, because we say we want to have a player driven economy, so the players decide on how much they want to tax. In the future, we will also have the me token integrated, so you can also ask for me tokens to play on the land. And just imagine CVW, for example, who has the most prestige land, tier 5, with lots of awesome cool players. People will want to pay him in order to be on that land, right? So he can set a higher tax. If I come with my tier 2 land that I have, with like level 4 prestige and not level 10, then I can ask a lower text, for example. Maybe they want to play with me because I'm fun. Maybe they don't like me, so they will go to someone else. And so that's for the renting part. And then we have the part which you asked with grinding your way up to be a landlord, basically. That's only possible if you take, for example, the play part of it, the earning part of it. So if you take part in all the giveaways that we have in the event leaderboards, you are able to earn me. Right now, first spot is getting 5,000 me tokens, for example. And if you grind, you can take that, and afterwards you can buy a piece of land, which will take some time because land is still pretty expensive. So that's a way on how to get there, but you cannot, like, in the game, earn your way up. We will have a couple of giveaways, and we will have some events where you can also win land. For example, if you sign up for right now, we have one land giveaway for the next 1,000 people that join. So 2,000 people will be in the pool if you reach level 5. Then so you, for example, are already in with your land, or with your participation. Only thing is left to like and retweet the tweet that I pinned up top. And then you can also win a tier 2 land, I think. Yeah, tier 2 land. So we will have lots of giveaways in the game, events where you can earn land. But yeah, that's also, we will start giving out more of this once the player base grows, because we still have to check the economy, how the economy is set up, so we don't over pollute the whole economy. So shout out, by the way, to Jay Spizzle down there. If you want, you can also bring him up. He knows almost as much as I do about the game right now, because he's one of the biggest fans, I think. And yeah, I hope that answered your question.
Oh yeah, definitely. And I'm actually in CVW. That guy's an absolute monster. So he is. He's
Yeah,
huge.
he's grinding. He has a couple of lands, and every person that is level 17 and above, I think, except for me, and 3 other dudes are on his land. I don't know what he's paying them to be on that land, but it must be something good, or he is really. Maybe he's a she, and she is really handsome. That could also be something. I don't know what else he's promising them.
Oh man, that's hilarious. But yeah, you were talking about balancing out the economy, and that's a very difficult issue in this space. You talked about multi-accounting. Obviously, you probably know about bots. They plague this industry. And what kind of do you guys have some strategies in place? I know you can't give away what you're going to do because that would give them the leg up. But is that something you guys are going to be watching really diligently?
They will find a way. They will find a way anyway, right? I mean, even if we tell them what we're doing, they're smart as shit. Like, whenever we implement some feature, there's always someone that's trying to exploit it. So our CTO is former King CTO, so he knows basically what he's doing. But let me give you just a couple of things. So multi-accounting in a way that it's like on a smaller base. Like, for example, you have 2 or 3 accounts. I don't think that will hurt any economy. What is hurting the economy is if you see, for example, um, on Facebook or on Twitter lately, that people have hundreds of accounts open. They even use AI in order to manage all of those. That is hurting the economy, and there are a couple of ways that you can verify that. There's like we also partner with Immutable. Immutable has some features also with their passport wallet that you will get, and so there are lots of features that we can use from the outside and also from the inside. Like, the better you are with having your analytics behind and your dashboards that you create in order to check the user and player behavior, the better you can prevent that, because everyone leaves a trace in the system, right? Um, so you can basically check based on the data if you get multi-accounting in, and then it depends on how much time you spend in order to prevent those, right? There is some manual work included, but there are also scripts that you can run in the back end to see if there's unusual behavior. I mean, they get smarter. They know what we do because sometimes they even did what we did before and then try to
Yeah.
counter that and look like normal people. But it's the same on Twitter, right? If I write my 100 GMs a day, I always have to mix them up because otherwise they will think I'm a bot, but I'm a normal person. I just write lots of GMs, right? So there's always that's a really tricky part. I'm lucky that I'm a marketing and BD and not like one of the devs that need to look at that shit.
Yeah, that's one of the things I'm looking forward to with Immutable is they've hinted they haven't said exactly what's going to happen, but they've hinted to the passport being able to implement some system to where uh, through through trends and tendencies of what the player's doing, they're going to be able to basically set up some form of a pool of people that they know for fact are verified, like real people. And I'm looking forward to whatever that is. I'm sure it's down the road, but I'm sure that's probably something that you alluded to with Passport.
Yeah, and that's the same thing. Like there are a couple of movies about that even, where you can trace based on your network and on the endpoints of your connections, on like if you are a genuine person or not. So they can see based on the user behavior, on the login and log out times, on how many affiliated accounts are from the same IP that you have over there, and like millions of other things. Like those they that's getting really smart, and you can make movies about that shit what they're doing over there. So yeah, they work on that, and we also internally of course work on it, because that is something that can really destroy your economy. Like look at Axie Infinity and other games where you just like see lots of multi accounting, and some it doesn't hurt the economy, but what you also need to have in mind, you need to create an economy where bots are not hurting your gameplay and your game economy overall. The better you design the economy of your game in order to prevent people from doing that, uh, because like if they grind the game with 20 accounts, that could be a cool thing because then they maybe form a guild basically, which is attractive, right? So they need to grind in order to get benefits out of it. That's why we have the event leaderboards and not something like log in every day, click 5 tabs, and then log off. Because that will not be the case in our game. We want to reward players that do cool things, like they really grind the leaderboard, they level up their town, and that's only done by people that really need to know how the game works. They need to go on land. That's why we have the land as well, because a person will always verify if a bot joins his land or not, right? If they pay taxes on that land and they want to get something out of the player, then they will make sure that that is not a bot that just goes in there, clicks 3 times a day, and then just leaves. So that's the human verification. So yeah, as I said, the better you plan your economy and the whole game system, and like even if you then have multi-accounting, it should still benefit the whole overall economy and the trading inside your ecosystem.
Definitely. So, the next question I have for you is: have you guys had any particular challenges, like you and the team? Have you had any particular challenges upon up until now, until on the development of this game that stands out in your memory?
Uh, so launching a token in a bear market, I think that was a challenge that we had. But like also the whole hype around it and everything. But the cool thing is we didn't actually need to have a really extraordinary launch or something like this, because we want to build around the token as a utility token and not a hype token, right? So we have a couple of features like the VIP level that you can achieve. Then we have staking in order to play for a higher tier land, and we will have more features added to the token, which is good that it didn't like 20x, for example, or 100x, because now we can build up on the economy and people can still afford to go to be a VIP level. But yeah, in a bear market, and also raising money in a bear market, That's what my founder always said. It's really hard, uh, but luckily we made it. I think because of the concept of the game and the backing that we have inside the whole Web3 space and also outside of the Web3 space with the whole IP that we have and the actor on board. Now also Immutable, Polygon, and all the others in the pocket. That made it easier for us, but still, like the money wasn't flowing in from itself, so there was lots of knocking on doors and yeah. But luckily, we did a lot of that through our own network, so no big VCs that can just rip your whole economy apart basically when they leave. Or they feel like, hey, let's just dump everything because we don't like those guys anymore. So it's like own network, people that we work with for a long time, and also focusing on gamers and games.
Very cool.
Yeah,
Yeah. So you've talked about having events and leaderboards. That I'm sure that's a big part of the fun of playing the game. Is there anything that you're going to tie into lore wise that might add a little bit of flavor to the game, or maybe some fun? And how would that work or look?
yeah. So currently we focus on building a robust and solid economy that really works, and the next steps are building like fun features into it. So we will have something like um, uh, storm the castle, basically, where you need to gather together with your friends and then attack a crusader castle. I'm not sure if I mentioned that anywhere, so most likely Jay Spizzle is down there thinking like, what? Haven't heard of that? But yeah, that's coming. And then we will have more cool features that we will of course implement in the game, mini quests and stuff like this. So definitely there will be more fun, but we focus on that's why we have it in an alpha or beta, and people still think like that's a really cool alpha or beta that we have from the whole game economy wise, because that's what we focus on, because that will in the end break your neck if you don't start off right and you just like want to rush it and just have something. Yeah, we build a mini game that's really fun, everyone will play it, but then the whole economy doesn't fit to that style. So that will come, and now I forgot what the question was, so I wanted to add something else. What was it?
It was about what fun aspects you're adding to it, and if lore would be a part of it. But
Yeah.
before you answer that, you said something about having everybody focus on a monster or a quest or something like that. Is that like a global event you would do, or is that like an alliance specific thing? Or that
So
intrigued my ears when I heard that.
so in the next release, most likely we will have a chat system already. That's the start, and that chat system will grow over time. So first you can uh, talk person to person, which I really love because I have no clue who's on my land and I want to talk with them. Uh, and then the next feature will be that you can talk on your land, and then you can talk like we will have different chats included. And we specifically started with a person to person because the feature that we will implement will start on the land. So you need to coordinate with the guys on your land on attacking a castle, and therefore you need to coordinate. And you can put a coordination spot basically at that time we attack, and it's easier to coordinate if you can talk to other people. Uh, so yeah, that will come, and then later on there will also be. I don't know if I think Destiny's Fair or some of those games where you could like have coordinated attacks and everything on a higher scale level. That will be a plan for the future, but that is pretty far away, to be honest, uh, because every feature takes like 2 to 4 weeks, and the bigger features take even 6 to 8 weeks from. And that's just one stage. So we always try to put it in different stages. So if we have, for example, PvP, that will be launched in different stages. So first we will have small PvP, then you have more advanced PvP, so that we always ship one feature, iterate on the feature, test it, So we check how the players respond, how our landlords respond, how the whole community thinks, because sometimes we implement something and they say, that's total crap, total shit. I mean, that's what they often say in the beginning, and then they actually start liking it. But we always want to iterate up on the features based on the community request, or on the community feedback that we get, because that's what we want. We want the players to tell us, hey, this is something we actually want in the game, with a little bit of salt always added to it, because sometimes players don't know what they want. So we still check if it's something that's feasible, of course. But we got lots of really cool feedback from our gamers. And if I see Jay Spizzle over here, he also had like some things like, hey, put an overview on your land for daily, monthly, and all-time summary of your resources. I haven't thought of that. But we get lots of cool feedback, which I always give to Felix, or Felix reads it by himself, and then we put it somewhere on the roadmap. But the roadmap is so fully packed, and if someone has like 100 million spare lying somewhere that he wants to give us, then we would be way faster with all that stuff. But yeah, we're a small team of 30 dudes that still, that's small, I think, in game development. If you look at real games, like big games like Fortnite, I think they have 100 guys just to bring some other 200 guys coffee. And that's not where we are at the moment, but that's what we want to achieve in the future. I mean, I also want to have a personal dude that brings me coffee, but I don't think we can afford that right now, and that doesn't make sense. So you get the point, right?
It'll come eventually.
Ah,
Definitely
yeah.
will, because I think you guys are on the right track. I do enjoy the game, and by the sounds of it, like with these updates that are coming in the future, it sounds like it's going to get even more enjoyable. But that's mostly all my questions regarding the game. But I was going to have ask some questions on just the state of Web3, or if WT, if you have any more questions,
Yeah, let me
go
answer
go ahead.
the lore question first, because I think that's a really cool question. So that will come with, or we already started implementing for new players. They join the game. They will talk through by Engin Altan Düzertam himself. So we had a session with him where we recorded his voice and everything, and then he starts like, hey, you guy, you start on a new land and now you have to fight invaders and blah, blah, blah. And then we also had some voices where he's dying and then like, ugh, ugh. So some cool stuff, which I think adds to the overall theme of the game. And then, of course, the lore is also dictated by the history. So we have an historical advisor from Harvard who specialized in the medieval times. And he is supporting us in law writing, or is writing the law for us as well. So we started by out by giving the heroes, or like the main characters, already a backstory. So every hero or every character, like Isabella or Engin that we have in the game, so the main characters like Longshanks from the Crusaders, they already have the history, right? And that's based on real history, and we try to be as much historically accurate as possible in a given time frame, right? Because if we have that open player economy where people can start land versus land fights, or basically later the historical battles, maybe we implement a faction that is a little later than the others, but it makes sense, right? So I don't think that, or I'm so bad at historical stuff. So I don't know if the Holy Roman Empire ever fought against the Turkish Kahi warriors or something like this, but that will happen in our game, right? I don't think it happened in real life. If we have someone that is real good in history, he can now lecture me. Um, but that's something that will happen in the game. But besides that, all the characters that we have are based, like Longshanks was. I don't know if you guys watched any medieval documentary or any medieval thing. Like so many, I can't think of anyone right now. But Longshanks is in basically every cool movie that I love. What was it, like Braveheart and all those cool movies? And there you already have a lore, right? So we will utilize that with together with the historical advisor from Harvard that we have. Uh, plus the stories that our game designer does. He's pretty fancy in those things, and we have some cool dudes also in the content team from marketing that are really into history. I will not be one of those guys that will write history or lore because I'm not good at it, as you just heard. I hope no one mentions that anywhere. But yeah.
Awesome. So I'll wrap up my final questions here. The first one's like super easy. Um, are you guys using? Are you guys going with the ZK EVM with Immutable?
Yeah, yeah. So that's why we also are like we want to align as much as possible with Immutable on the timeline as well. So they took a little bit more time. So we will integrate the passport wallet. We will have the marketplace also from them, and we are currently working on integrating ZKVM as one of the main ambassadors for the MENA region. That's why or basically they chose us because we are pretty well. How do you say? Oh, my English today is not the best. Pretty good represented in the Middle Eastern part, in the whole MENA region. That's why we are one of the,
Right.
I think, main 15 games that they chose in the beginning for ZK EVM into.
Yeah, you guys are out of Dubai, aren't you?
Yeah, so we basically we're all over the whole world, but main headquarters is in Dubai.
Yeah,
I'm in Germany.
that's smart.
Uh,
That's smart. They're real compliant over there, or real. They're friendly to this stuff. So that's
yeah.
smart on you guys' part. My last question is, so you guys got the 1,000 more players going to open up for the game. You've got this awesome tournament going on. I know the launch for the game to be played with a lot more people is coming up soon. What is, besides those three things, what's the next big thing you guys got coming?
So currently we focus also a lot on community building with all the spaces that we do. We also host a space called the New Era of Gaming, and one of the biggest features that we want to have is like collaborations with other games. Really looking forward to having also in-game cooperations with other games. And the next really cool big thing, I think for me, it's the implementation of mobile, but that's not. I mean, that's half a year or over half a year still. Then the implementation of the Crusader faction. I think I'm really looking forward to those because I have a full body armor over here as a Crusader, like real metal and everything. I don't know if you guys saw one of the videos already, but I want to play the Crusaders. So that's something I'm really looking forward to finally be able to play Crusaders as well.
Definitely. So, just going to pull it back to the lore again. So, was there any particular challenges that you guys faced while crafting the backstory or the lore of the game?
Uh, Not really, because I mean, history was there. We can do everything based on true events. The only thing is how you differentiate the different factions, because we spoke a lot about if you look at the Mongols and the Turkish tribe, for example, they're similar in appearance from clothing style. But if you look at the Crusaders in certain parts and the Holy Roman Empire, that's the same. So I think that's a challenge on how you differentiate the different factions from each other if you put them together in one game. Because normally you don't see them like all standing next to each other, but in the game you will. So our main artist is former Disney, so he worked on The Hunchback and Tarzan, and like he knows his stuff. That's really cool. And he is really cool in character building and mapping out the details. And his team like did a really cool job on distinguishing between those factions. So we already have a couple of sketches out for the Mongols, for example, which we did, and he has a couple of mood boards where he's working on. And there you see like how he managed to do that. I couldn't think of it because when I Google like Mongols and the Turkish tribe, for me the stuff they wear looks the same. But once I saw his drawings, I was like, okay, that's really cool. So yeah, that's something I'm really looking forward to on how this will look like once we have like 5 or 6 factions in the game. on how the whole world map will also look like. Right now, we just have North Ankara where we started, and then you will have like different cities over there that are populated with different clans. Then you have all the clan structure, and we already started working on clans. Like we have CVW, as you know. He's one of the biggest ones, but we also started cooperating with Xborg and some other guilds or esports players. I mean, we're not that, like, you will not see us doing big esports events until we have PvP, and still then we're not a first person shooter, right? But that's something like the whole lore inside the game from player side. That's something I'm really looking forward to. Who will be the one that like leads to having the biggest clan, and then maybe there's some whale coming in just buying 20 pieces of land and have 10 people that he employs just to be the leader of each land or something like that. I don't know what will happen. That's what I'm really looking forward to in the game.
Definitely. So as a gamer, like that's what I sort of look at. I look at the lore and the backstory. That's what sort of draws me to the game. So that's what draws me to, like, I love the whole medieval aspect because I love history. It's history's awesome, but I'm not sure what if what was it, Turkey and the or not the Mongols, the Roman Empire were around at the same time, but the Turkish tribes. But I would love to see if you guys implement the likes of Alexander, because I'm actually watching that on Netflix at the minute, so I wanted to throw that in there, get Alexander up in the mix. But so I'll go down to my last couple of questions. So this is just about Web3 in general. So what do you see being a major hurdle in achieving mass adoption in Web3 that needs to be overcome?
Uh, I mean, we are at the verge of it with gaming, and that's like one first of all use case that you have. I mean, who doesn't want to play a game? And also like frictionless and easy onboarding. Uh, so as I said, for us, for example, you just need to have an email address at the moment, and then you can start playing. Uh, and with the Passport wallet from Immutable, that's even easier because everything will create it in the backend. You have social logins, all your seed stuff, which gamers have no clue about, maybe, is in your Google account backed up and everything. So that's a really cool feature. And so I think we're already there. The real biggest problem that I see overall in Web3 and in crypto are scams, and that everyone wants to screw you somewhere. Like, I'm always afraid to connect my wallet anywhere, and that security feature, I think that needs to be from every network, or no matter where you are, Polygon or whatever. There needs to be some protection measures and a standard that we can take. That people are not afraid. It's the same like when email started. I don't know if you ever got an. I mean, we are one of the older guys here in the, and I'm 36. So I don't know if you ever got an email from a Siberian prince, or that got a fake phone call from some dude that says he found your phone or whatever. That happens everywhere, right? So scamming is part of life. The only thing that we need to have is education and finding systems on how to prevent it. And there's still some work to do in Web3, especially on fundamental things like wallet security, and like you have stuff like wallet guard and all those things, but no one knows about it. Like yesterday, I had a call from a friend who wants to get into crypto, and he's like, "Yeah, what should I do? Uh, should I use Bitpanda, or how do I onboard my money? And should I use Bybit, or I heard something about Binance, and what is a coin, and what's the difference between a coin and a token and everything?" But that will come over time. I mean, once the internet was there, that took forever until people realized how cool it is. Like military used it first, and then once uh, at a certain stage, everyone realized, yeah, that's really cool. And you still get phishing stuff. I click on so many links a day. I'm lucky that I got hacked yet, right? But yeah, that's something that we really need to work on, is security in Web3. And on the other stuff, we work pretty well. Like, look at how long it took me to install Fortnite lately on my computer. It took me longer than, like, Medieval Empires takes 5 minutes in order to install and start playing. If you want to play FIFA right now on your PlayStation, you need to download it, get an EA account. Then once you've downloaded it, then there's already an update you need to put, and whatever the heck you need to do. So I think in gaming, most of the cool games, and with cool games, I mean games that worked for a year or 2 years already and have a good team, they have that already implemented. Like, I started playing Gas Hero, took me 5 minutes, I think. I start playing Nifty Island. Okay, they still have Wallet Connect because they check your wallet, for example. Took me around 5 minutes. So all the games that are already there, Illuvium, Star Atlas also has Passport Wallet integrated. Then I started playing Star Heroes. Same, like, you go download a launcher, takes 5 minutes, then you start the game from within the launcher, just download your stuff, takes another 5 minutes or 10 minutes, and you have the game. So everyone that tells me Web3 gaming takes so long and so much stuff to do, no. In the beginning, you needed to take 15 steps in order to start playing. Right now, sometimes it's just 5 steps. The only problem starts when you want to really go into the Web3 part, when you have all the stuff that you now own inside the game, the NFTs and everything, if you want to get them out. But then we game studios come into the place with the education. So hey, now you have that cool stuff, and now we find a gamified way on how to explain you how you get it out. Like, hey, do a test transaction, put that on the marketplace. We help you doing that with step-by-step explanations. We do YouTube videos and everything. So I think we're already there, but the scamming is the biggest problem I see over here in Web3.
Definitely. Like, and I think Immutable sort of sees that as well, because they've come out with the toolkit that will help people maybe like do their swapping and all the different tools that they have on there. So they are definitely trying to make it easier for the mainstream people to get on board here with just using their email address. So yeah, I think they are set to, along with Polygon, to revolutionize the space. So it's been a great space, man. I've thoroughly enjoyed it. WT, have you any more questions, buddy?
No, I just thanks for stopping by and hanging out with us at Gamers Galaxie. If you're in the crowd still, check these guys out. Give them a follow. Give him a follow. And he said that there's going to be 1,000 spots opening up. I'm definitely going to check it out for sure. I can't play no 8 hours. I guess I just don't have the time, but I'm definitely going to check it out, and it's definitely piqued my interest. And thanks again for hanging out with us today.
Yeah, happy to be here. And we currently have a couple of open slots. I know Jay Spizzle also has some that he gives away, I think, if you check him out downstairs as well. So yeah, happy to have you guys in the game. If you have any questions, we upload everything on YouTube. Like, we have AMAs also with the team. Happy that, and if any one of you guys wants to play right now, just start downloading, check an empty slot. And my advice is take one where the tax is not the highest. So there are some that are really low in taxes at the moment.
But yeah, definitely, guys, listeners, if you enjoyed what you heard here today and you're not playing the game, I recommend you guys jumping in there and starting to play, because it is an enjoyable game. It's very competitive with the leaderboard and stuff. So if you have any other leaving thoughts, Luke, be my guest, man.
No, happy what you guys are doing. I always love people trying to educate the space, and especially also on Immutable. I see you do a lot on Immutable. And if you guys need any support in the game as well, let me know. And besides that, always happy to have you on our spaces as well. Every Thursday, 1 p.m. I see you a couple of times in there already. I think for some of you it's still pretty early if you're from the East Coast or something like this. But you're from Ireland. I know that right now, and you will also be one of the cool guys that gets a signed poster. But yeah, that I have you on here, that will take some time. Like, I'm shipping from Germany to Ireland. I just checked that out. that's a long way. So yeah, but I will let you know once it's on their way, because we also host some giveaways like outside of the Web3 stuff with signed posters or something like this. So always check our socials. We try to give back to the community as well. And yeah, thanks for having me today. It was a pleasure, and always happy to come back. Sunday normally doesn't work that good for me because I have a life as well. But always try to make some room for you guys and support you as well.
Yeah, definitely. Maybe the next time I'll try to do it during the week. But yeah, I'd love to have you guys back on, and maybe on your next update we can organize another space and we can go on and talk about it. And yeah, so it was a great space. I urge everyone to follow Medieval Empires, follow Luke, follow WT, follow Gamers Galaxie. We're always going to be looking out for any developers that want to come up and talk with us and share their vision. We'd love to have you on. So I say again, thank you, and I'll see you all on the next one.
Bye, guys.